Things are going to start happening to me now.
I think Tyler is amazing.
And I'm a fan of this show. I've watched several episodes.
Thank you, Tyler. Thank you, Tyler. You stink, Tyler.
Never promise crazy a baby.
Oh, I like that. That's a cool idea.
Are either of you homosexuals?
I go both ways. What do you think?
You mean like flaming or?
No, we're not homosexual, but we are willing to learn.
But I do wonder, for others, in other cases, whether libertarianism today is just an excuse for many on the right to act selfishly.
Look at me. And then some fat asses in Washington started having opinions. The Olympic Committee started having opinions. You bitch, I know you! You started writing your opinions.
And it just makes me wonder, you're dead, bitch. You know, why are you doing this to this poor guy?
I don't care. I'm a libertarian. What I'm getting is,
Did you vote for Joe Jorgensen or Trump?
Who?
I'm muted. There. Look at what we got going here. Thank you for the notice here. My cat is over here. She decided, and this is what cats do. They just come in here. They start flicking stuff, poking her. Watch, she's gonna push this pen off the. There you go. You almost got it. Okay, we'll just keep playing and fucking around with that. I thought we would just do a quick show here, or maybe I don't know. I came back from work. There we go. Muted. This is Tyler Yonke, LPR. One of these days, this is the problem. I do the intro, and I don't want you to hear all my clicking and stuff, so I mute myself, and then when it comes on, I forget about it because there's other things going on. There we go. Okay. This is what's crazy. This is what happened. Let me go here so I can at least bring this in. There we go, so we can at least see what's going on here. I work all day. And then you should see this cat right now. This is so crawling over my shit. I work all day. My wife, I was coming home and she's like, hey, how about we go out? We have these gift cards. Why don't we go out to this place? You know, fine. So we go out there, a bunch of old fuckers. Cause you know, it's West Coast. It's 7 o'clock here now. So we go out there, get some drinks, have some food, come home. I then just happened to look at the news. I've been looking at the news all day. There's like a school shooter in Wisconsin. Sorry, do I need to say certain words? Not say certain words. Lincoln says, "Hey Tyler." There you go. So welcome in there, Lincoln. So I thought I would just go. I'm like, okay, I'm not really into the football game tonight, Monday night game. What if I just came on here and we like play some? Let's play some. I want to make sure I'm streaming everywhere. I think I'm out here at Rumbleland should be. Let's see if that's going there. Live streaming on YouTube. How about Twitter? Am I going on Twitter? I need to make sure these things are going fine. Okay, I don't know. Maybe it's some problems. Looks to be good. Okay, I think I'm all good everywhere we need it to be. So let's pop this chat out over here. So if you guys, you can check us out on X, you can check us out on Rumble, you can check us out on YouTube. Legal Vices YouTube lawyer also passed away today. Yeah, and that's an X. Thank you, Jeff. So I actually wanted to bring him up as well. Not good to hear the news. Kind of sad, actually, very sad. You never know what people are going through. You never know what situations they've got. And as far as health goes, I should not have gone out tonight and had drinks. I should have gone to the gym instead. An honor. Evidently, the rumor is it's Legal Vices. If you don't know, he does maritime law stuff. He's got a page on YouTube. I never interacted with him, but I subscribed to his page, followed him on Twitter. I always enjoyed his stuff. I liked him. He would have a separate camera just for his dog. And I really liked him. Good guy. I don't know him personally, but legal mindset. Meets up with him because he was living in Korea. Some other meme copium. Josh was over there recently. Seemed like a real nice guy. I mean, as an example, this is a weird space where you guys get to see a lot of my life. You know, some of you I know personally, somewhat. Lincoln, as an example, I've done. We did podcasts with him talking about The Mandalorian. Okay, so I got to know him just back. You know, every week we would do these things. And it's a nice guy, and I liked it. And I've met multiple people. Andy used to come on this show. I actually met Andy when we were out at Tennessee. Hung out with him a bunch. His daughter hung out. You know, it's like family, right? And so you see something like this happen where you feel like you get to know someone. You don't always know, because we didn't know Rakeda, as an example. And you get to know them, and, you know, you feel some sadness. This is people that, you know, for the whatever reason, spent hours of their lives you spent with them, and they spent with you. And that's kind of what it is. Now, I don't know if, you know, this is, you know, if that's where he was making his money. You know, I don't make the money on YouTube. I do it elsewhere. So I come on here and I just enjoy, you know, the interaction. Screwed like Screwed Up Texan right here is giving me the, you know, this, by the way, I have to express this. Let's see here. Let's go to the full chat. The tower, the kite tower there. Great guy, very likable, sad, yeah. I was doing a breakdown of Good Logic. Joe Neerman, remember his the lawsuit that, you know, $100,000 judgment against him, and I somewhat defended him, and he actually watched it and said thank you for doing that. But mid show, I had up the chat like this, and it was either an N tower or a K tower, and I thought that was somewhat funny that he is watching this show of me somewhat defending him. Meanwhile, I've got a highly racist tower going on during the show, all at the same time. Legal Vikings worked as a lawyer full-time and streamed on his off time. See, you're giving me info about Jeff that makes me like him even more. You know, Sean does that. I do this. You know, there's some, and I'm not at all bashing at all those guys that, you know, are making a living off of doing this. I mean, this would be somewhat easier, right? If I came on here and you guys gave me money and I did this and made the same that I could do to support my family, but I can't. So what I'm doing out there is I'm going to battle every day. Fascinating case I had today, and we'll get to the mental issues that are going on here plaguing this country about school shootings and whatnot. And it's a fascinating thing that you're getting more females doing this, but it's the females with a confused mindset of their gender identity, and that's kind of the concept you're getting here, which is once again fascinating as well. What was I talking about? Oh, so the case I had today. Oh, I had music going on in the background still. Sorry. The case I had today, by the way, I'm Jewish. Okay. By the way, that's perfectly fine. I don't have any troubles with that. I'm the only one that does the K Tower. By the way, I don't really care. By the way, I don't care the ethnicity. I don't care any of that. All I care is, are you going to make this a victim issue in your life? And I just don't think that's healthy. One, as a society, I don't think that's healthy as a person. If I were to do that, you know, and I preach against this for men, you know, going into the family court system and talking about how it's all against you. Well, you're already starting out there as a victim. And if it's against you, you're going to act like that. My wife right now, as an example, she loves reality TV, and she's watching My 600-Pound Life. These are super fat people. My wife goes to the gym 4 or 5 times a week, so she's not one of them at all. She's a fit person. She's always been thin and whatnot. You know, God bless me for having that. But that's part of the issue, which is like, I can't do this, and then it's overwhelming, and then it's just a mentality that keeps you going there, and you can't overcome it, because at this point, what's the point? And I think that's the same thing no matter if it's family law and men. If you've got that mentality, it's a Jewish person thinking that the Holocaust is always going to happen right now at your door. A black person talking about slavery or whatnot. A white person saying now I'm filled up with white guilt or whatever. It's not conducive for you at all on your micro, you know, aspect of your life. Next thing you know, you've got some sort of chica out there that thinks she's a boy and things are against her, and then she's going to go shoot up. Oh, look at this. Thank you for your donation, $10. Charles, I appreciate that a lot. Wow, thank you. I really do appreciate that. You did not have to do that. But I think I finally hit the threshold where we're going to be able to have members. Because some things like this would maybe be a good members live stream. So what I think I'm going to do is, let's take a look here. I want to go to the news. This is Jeff's. This is let's play this. This is Sean playing a thing here about Jeff. And like I said, I did not ever really interact with Jeff at all. Legal Vices. But you know, I had a lot of respect for him, and I like I said, I followed his show, and you know, checked it out, and you just don't like to see this with anybody, right? I think it's just it makes you it's a sad situation. Let me see here. App capture, maybe that's what I want. Okay, let's take a look here. Oh, now I didn't set anything up here in time for this, so now we will have to see if we can fix this a bit here. Okay, we're already coming into our own here, people. We're already making things look better. Okay. Now we're cruising. Okay, so this is Sean, criminally what's his name? Something potentially criminal. I hope you can all hear this. Let's play this.
Hey guys, I'm sure as you've heard already, Jeff, also known as Legal Vices, passed away over the weekend. I don't know anything else other than that. I will say, you know, Godspeed, Jeff. You know, we already miss you. Did a great job, was always very enjoyable, and I know many of you guys out there watching this enjoyed him as well. Well, it's the good things, the good memories. We've got those, and we get to keep them. Nobody can take them away. And that's something for me too. Bunch of good memories, a bunch of good times, and I get to keep those. So, you know, Jeff, you know, we miss you. Prayers to your family and to those those very close to you, and we'll see you again soon.
Yeah. Now, of course, you know, Sean, I think had interactions with him and knew him much. I didn't know him, but like I said, I was impressed with him, liked him. It's a bit somber, you know. Life can be short. I mean, look at. We just had a situation up here in Northern California, Feather Ridge or something like that. It's up by Chico. It's a private school that my kids are affiliated with. It's our church, and some random guy. He obviously had a mental problem. He had nothing to do with this school. He said his sister was thinking of sending her kids there, and so he wanted to take a tour. And so he takes a tour, and then he peels off, and he goes and starts firing at these kids. Now, he shot a 6-year-old and a 5-year-old. Okay, they were best friends. One, and they didn't kill him. And then I think he ends up killing himself. The police were there very quickly. So that happened a few weeks ago, and my wife was just checking on the kids, and you know, one wakes up in the hospital, and they ask about the other one because that's like their best friend. There are these two kids on the playground. It's horrible. The kids are pulling through. They went through another surgery. It's all, you know, it's coming. But imagine dropping your kid off. I don't know, even if you don't have children, you can still imagine someone you care about. You drop them off someplace, and especially school, where you hope. You know, it's tough enough as a parent, just dropping your kids off, hoping that they're going to be okay. You know, the school process itself doesn't swallow them up. And then you have some rando coming in there, you know, taking them out. Now, I'm not at all for gun control. So I think, you know, if anything, you should be able to have competent teachers or whatnot at the school protecting the kids, because that is something you concern yourself with. And then you get this person going out there today, and, you know, she's taking shots at them as well. Let's see if we can find some news here, see if some news stories. So anyway, you don't know what's going to happen. Jeff, I think, had a I think it was a heart attack that took him. You know, so I've had some near, I don't know about death experiences, but some pretty tragic bike race and bike related accidents that were pretty bad. I broke my neck and my back a few years ago. But I came back from it, and now I'm probably more at risk because I'm not doing any exercising at all. Like I said, my wife goes to the gym. I'm not doing that. I need to. I don't want this to. And by the way, you can be a healthy person seemingly, and maybe you have some congenital issues and you pass away. But there's all these things we can do. COVID happened. What did we do? I was out riding my bike. We were getting vitamin D, doing all this good stuff. Being as healthy as you can, that's an important thing. And if maybe you take something here from this Jeff situation, which is go get your shit together as well. Jeff, who passed away? It's the guy online. It's a legal guy. His name was Jeff. I don't know his last name, but Legal Vices. He did maritime law. He was I liked him. He seemed to be kind of one of our guys. So anyway, Jeff was in Seoul for vacation when he passed, messed up to die in your vacay. I think he lived there. I'm pretty sure Jeff lived there. And I read a tweet where some lady said that she was in his law school class. They were both Mormon. He had done his mission, I think, to Korea. I think he ended up just staying there, no longer Mormon, practicing at least. He's drinking and whatnot. But I think he lived there. And so you'd see him he was doing stuff from Korea, whatever was going on there. That's where he was at. I need to hit the gym more. Garbage, deplorable, bitter clinger says, it's been hard to find motivation after I stopped racing. So you were racing too. Okay. Well, that was me. Okay. Unless you're mocking me. Because, yes, that's been my situation as well. It does, it's so, I've gone through multiple phases in my life, which is I'm super, basically up until end of 99. I mean, I birthed through whatever. I was super competitive, multiple sports, but then cycling really took over. I played volleyball in college, high school basketball, baseball and whatnot. But then, cycling was my thing, and up and then had kids, and then stopped racing. Stopped doing a lot of that stuff. Played a lot of golf then, which was fantastic. I get really into everything I do. But the fitness was gone. And then I got back into cycling in the last, 10, 12 years. I was going at very hardcore as well. One of my best friends just was in New Zealand this weekend doing the Ironman. He qualified for World Championships. So he's down. It's also the kind of shit I was, not doing my triathlons, but, bike racing and stuff. And there is a problem with motivation. And once it's like with anything, right? And it's also, my brother-in-law told me once back in the mid 2000s when I got fat and I was trying to lose weight and I was like, oh, it was frustrating. He goes, it took you a while to a lot of work to get fat. It's going to take you some work to get unfat. And I'm like, yeah, it's completely true. So it's like with anything, and it's just a motivational thing. I'm part of this conversation that I'm having here is me trying to project out to everybody what I need to do better in my own life, right? And to get my shit together and to do it. Now, I say that, and then tomorrow morning, my wife's going to bother me about going to the gym with her, and I'm not going to do it. First of all, tomorrow I have an excuse. I have court at 8:30, so I'm not going to do it. And I hate doing the morning stuff. I detest it. But then I come home. That's usually when I would do it, was in the afternoon. I'd come home and go to the gym and work out. Tonight I went out with her, and so it's her fault. It's really her fault. So, garbage, deplorable, bitter clinger. I tried triathlon thing. I'm a really slow swimmer. Okay, yeah, gotcha. Let's catch up here. No, that was me. Jess lived in Busan, another city in Seoul, in South Korea, but was on, I gotcha. Doctor of Madness. Okay, but was in vacation of Seoul, which is a few hours away. But I gotcha. So it wasn't that he was in vacation in Korea. You're saying he was on vacation in a different city. Yeah, that's rough. Since we're talking about health, make sure you take appendicitis very seriously. I had it in August and it put my bladder into shock. Now I'm on a suprapubic catheter. Holy shit, Charles. That's I don't know that I want to hear that. Okay. I tried the triathlon thing. I'm a slow swimmer. Yeah, catheters are based. Yeah, all her fault. Triathlons I'm not into. I was a swimmer. I was a lifeguard for many years. I was on swim team growing up. It was okay. I run decent. I'm really good cardio and I could push through all the pain and all that stuff. My joy was the bike. Okay, that was my joy. So that's part of it. Magoo, Jeff died on Rekida's birthday. Oh my shit. Are you right? That's pretty screwed up. Okay, I gifted you a membership on King Pilled earlier. You talking to me? On King Pilled. Okay, I don't know what's going on there. Maybe you can tell me what's going on. Let's take a look here at this. And by the way, how you doing, Magoo? Haven't talked to you for a while. Hope everything's fine. Okay, let's just start going through some of these things here.
Rob, with the immediate active shooter situation passed, tonight Madison, Wisconsin police and federal law enforcement focus on the question, who was the shooter, which will help define why it happened and what could be learned to prevent the next school attack.
Got a call coming in at Abundant Life Christian Church, 4901 for Engine 5 and Medic 5 for a shooter.
When the calls for help came in and police were deployed, nobody was expecting to find a female shooter here. Nearly all mass shootings the past 40 years have been carried out.
Okay, but the Tennessee one, and then there's been another one recently that was trans. So it depends what you call them, right? Are they females? Okay, what if they identify as a man now, but they are born biologically female? Are you going to say now that those are male shootings? Is this how we skew the statistics?
By boys or men. Her 9mm pistol was in line with what is used in a majority of mass shootings, about twice as often as rifles or shotguns. While the shooter, who died by suicide, hasn't been named, tonight authorities say her family has been cooperative with investigators.
We have initiated a search, but we think that search is either ongoing now or that search may be concluded.
The law enforcement search of her home is aimed at collecting computers and other personal electronics that will help establish the shooter's so-called digital fingerprints. Investigators also need to rule out whether the teenager had help in pulling off the 11 a.m. attack or even just provided information to friends or family about a plan for violence.
We do not.
Okay, so I just want to throw this out there. 11 a.m., so Wisconsin, is that East Coast or is that Central? Either way, I did not even learn about this until just about like an hour ago, hour and a half ago, 6 o'clock West Coast. What is it? I'm busy today. And by the way, I was at work and I had court in the morning and then I was doing some other things and I watch stuff while I work because it's just kind of, I don't know if I have ADHD. Some people have accused me of having those problems. So I watch stuff to kind of take the white noise, focus that, and then I can focus on my work. And I wasn't watching the news. I wasn't even on Twitter. I wasn't on YouTube. So I did see the Jeff thing. So I saw that earlier this morning. So this happened last week too. It's like I came back, there was nothing going on, and all of a sudden it was like Luigi's caught, and there was all kinds of stuff. I'm just like, what's going?
I know that the shooter had any prior contact with law enforcement. We're not going to interrogate students. We're going to give them an opportunity to come in and speak to what they may have saw when they feel ready.
Not only is the fast response by police to an active shooter call now an accepted and expected tactic, there is also a police template for post-mass shooting investigations.
Why did this happen? What do we know? What was the motivation? I do not know. But I will tell you this, our detectives are working hard in the investigative process to find out as many answers as we can so that we can further prevent these things from happening, not only in this community, but in other communities around our country.
It won't be long until we know the identity of the teenage shooter. The police chief in Madison just saying investigators expect to provide details of her name and background at their briefing coming up at 8:30 tonight. Of course, we'll have that coming up at 10.
Yeah, meanwhile, another tragic cycle continues here with another community in mourning, Chuck. Yep. Thanks.
Watch breaking news.
Okay, let's keep going here, and I will find some more info on the shooter, specifically stuff on Twitter. I think they had that parents speak about the shooting, 2 killed, and so 2 people died, I think. So let's take a look at this one, maybe.
We've been listening to officials give an update on the deadly school shooting in Madison, Wisconsin, where at least 2 people have been killed, 3 dead total, including the teenage shooter believed to be a student at the school, was believed to have died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound inside the school. Another 6 are injured. We learned 2 of the shooting victims have been released from the hospital. We also know more information from this press conference, including that the reunification process, meaning parents trying to find their children who are at the school, is complete. They are still trying to determine a motive of the shooter. They can't tell us the age, gender, or name, although a law enforcement source identified the deceased shooter to CBS News as a 17-year-old female student at the school. They plan to give another update.
I know a lot of people were praising Luigi for what he did. And, you know, that guy had a family and whatnot. You can think he was the devil or not. I know it's different when you're shooting kids. Is anybody going to be all up and excited that she did this? Right? What if she's hot? If she's hot, are we going to go, oh, well, put her on a T-shirt? She's Luigi Ina. Luigi Ina.
In about 90 minutes'
I don't know if that's even
time.
comparable, but I'm not a person that's all excited about the Luigi killing. I mean, I think there's, you know.
Again, 3 killed, 2 pronounced dead on the scene. 1 died on the way to the hospital. 2 students remain in critical condition. A teacher and 3 other students suffer non-life-threatening injuries. And as I mentioned, 2 survivors have been released. I want to bring in CBS News Homeland Security and Justice reporter Nicole Skanga. Nicole, officials say they went through some of the security at the school. The school doesn't have a school resource officer, no metal detectors. What security did they talk about, and the training that teachers and staff go through at that particular school?
Yeah, Lindsay, a few popped out at me immediately. First and foremost, the police chief of Madison saying that it took just 3 minutes for officers to respond to calls of a shooting, that at 10:57 a.m. is when the first calls came in regarding that active shooting. And by 11 a.m., there were officers entering into the school, that they were equipped with maps of the school, that facility, that school had an active shooter training with MPD, Madison Police Department.
And by the way, I screwed up here. You're saying they just say they don't know the gender. Now, I don't know. I don't know what point these videos are coming out from everything. So if that was just early on, they didn't know, or they're playing coy with their stupid identity politics stuff.
In the days before the school year began just this year, so it was fresh in the minds of teachers who were part of that training. There are no metal detectors at this school, but we did learn that there were public cameras. We also heard the police chief there and school officials speak to the shooter, who we do know was a female student of the school, entered the building as normal that day, that there was no breach of the school, that when the doors
So she shot up her own school, I guess.
Of the school close after the start of the school day, they're locked. So it appears as though this student, walked into the school as per usual. And although there were no metal detectors, as I said, there was some mention that there are school officials that perform a visual scan of students who walk into the building there. It was also stuck out to me that school officials said how willingly students cooperated, that it was very clear this was not a drill, and that, when the call went out, lockdown, students and teachers immediately sort of ran into action there. We know there were 420 students roughly as part of this K-12 school who are now part of presumably the worst club in America, survivors of a school shooting, Lindsay.
And the police chief was...
Okay, I know this is morbid, but what about the chick on the right? You would?
Asked about any warning signs that the suspected shooter may have displayed. He said detectives are working on that, and that the parents are being interviewed as we speak, and that they are still cooperating, and that he didn't want to interrupt the interview to get information. That's why they're holding another press conference. And that right now there's no evidence that anyone else was involved. We mentioned that the suspect is a 17-year-old female. How does that impact the investigation?
Yeah, well, certainly an unusual profile of a shooter. We spoke about this earlier, but, FBI analysis of active shooters indicate that really only 2% of shooters in 2023 were female. And of course, here, police trying to piece together, both by collecting forensic evidence on the scene, speaking to witnesses, speaking to the family, as you mentioned, the interview with parents still ongoing. What was the motivation here? Were the victims here, particularly, the teacher and the student?
You got a good point about the voice here. I mean, everyone's saying would, smash, extreme. But the voice is a little bit odd, but I'm okay with it. Now, the question I would have is, her last name is Songas. She comes across, I don't know if it's Italian, maybe Middle Eastern, maybe Greek, or I don't know where this name. I'm a little concerned about a hair problem. Okay, that she's doing a good job here, but it could be out of control in other areas. She might have to do a lot of waxing. I think she's fabulous. I'm very impressed, by the way, but I'm a little concerned on a few things. I would just need to
mentioned earlier, as well as the 6 injured. Were they targeted or were they random? These are questions that are no doubt coming up during that investigation. And federal investigators, particularly with the ATF, going to use their TRACE program to look into, the weapon that was recovered, the handgun that CBS News has reported was a 9mm pistol, to determine.
Yeah, by the way, 9mm instead of a assault rifle. So what are you going to do now? Are you going to try to take my 9 that's on the wall back? Or it's in a box, actually. No, so that's problematic. And by the way, I mean, how is this 17-year-old getting it? I don't hear much. You're going to get this, by the way. You're going to get with Luigi. You're going to start getting ghost gun. Are we going to eliminate? This is going to be a big problem. And now with the 2A, and we really need to, dig into this and start passing laws. Outline maybe 3D printing or whatnot. Okay, I get that, but I guarantee you, Luigi didn't get a ghost gun for any other reason than possibly trying to get away. Now, granted, is Luigi actually the shooter? Innocent until proven guilty? And then the conspiracy stuff, it does seem odd. I don't think in that case, if you take everything somewhat at face value, and I'm not saying you should, so don't mock me for that. I'm just saying if you do, he would have been able to get a gun. There's no reason why Luigi could not have got a gun legally, obviously depending on where he lives, but he would have been able to get one somewhere. He was in Hawaii at one point. I don't know, moved around. He would have been able to get one. The ghost gun for me is simply him trying to not be, traced at some point, or the ease of doing that. I don't even understand necessarily the reason for that, because, so anyway, the point is the Democrats are going to try to pass laws that would do nothing against what he did. Now, this person here, where's this 17-year-old female? Why are we giving girls guns?
How did that weapon fall into the hand of a juvenile here, the suspect here? And so that, investigation still underway here. We know that this all played out in a learning part of the school. Police were clear that this occurred during a transition.
Whoa. Let me ask you this, lady. It's in a learning part of the school. As compared, what the fuck are we sending our kids to school for if it's not for learning? Even PE, right? Physical education is learning, right? You're always learning there. So I don't know what the teacher's lounge maybe, or do they have this is a Christian school. It's a private school. It's all learning. It's not your public school, lady. So I don't know.
Period throughout the school day, but they say right now the school is a crime scene and that evidence is still being processed. And school officials saying it's unclear whether they'll resume classes before the holidays, but they do expect there to be some community events that students don't feel alone, in addition to a public vigil held in honor of those lost. Lindsay.
Nicole, a member of the Wisconsin Department of Justice Office of School Safety had said people don't just snap. They don't decide one day to do something like this. They make a decision. They start researching and planning, often demonstrating observable behavior that others notice. Why was it important for her to mention that today?
Transition.
I think it's important when we talk about school shootings to understand that this targeted violence, as that DOJ official pointed out, is preventable, that there are warning signs. And as it is.
Good question here, Big Chungus. Would you consider lunch part of the learning period? Now, I don't know that she said learning period. She said learning section of the school. Okay, I think that was what she said. Don't make me go back in here. And now I feel obligated to do so. Okay, so right now we're at 5:44. Let's go back here a little bit and see where we are.
Fall into the hand of a juvenile here, the suspect here. And so that, investigation still underway here. We know that this all played out in a learning part of the school.
Okay, learning part of the school. Now, in her defense, we've already established she might be as a big chunk as no. Someone's saying how she's kind of lazy with her words. So if that's the case, then perhaps she just meant a period of time, right? But she didn't say a learning period. She said a learning part of the school. So is the cafeteria a learning part of the school? Oh, fuck yeah. You're going in there. You're a freshman. You learn quick. You are learning quick, or you're going to get pummeled if you don't sit with the right crowd, maybe go through the line right. Don't drop your tray. If you drop your tray, everyone's going to cheer. They're going to look at you. It's a big deal. So everything at that school for juveniles is a learning part of the school. Fuck you for thinking otherwise. I'm just kidding. Okay, let's go.
Suggests that 4 out of 5 school shooters tell someone, whether it's a friend, a classmate, a family member, a teacher, prior to committing that act. And I think it underscores the importance in this case of how crucial it is for individuals, be they students or teachers or parents, to come forward with that information. And I suspect we'll learn in the coming days if the suspect here was flagged by law enforcement, as is often the case. We covered the Appalachia school shooting down in Georgia earlier this year. Lindsay, it was clear in that situation that individual, the suspect there, had been flagged by FBI and interviewed by law enforcement. So it will be...
That was the kid, right? And dad, oh no, I'm not sure. There is one where they came after the dad. I think he's being criminally prosecuted for allowing the son to have access. And we can talk about that kind of stuff. I'll get to the chat
here to see if there were any red flags that were missed as law enforcement tries to learn from this horrific situation moving forward.
Nicole Skanga, thank you. I want to bring in CBS News Chicago reporter Charlie DeMar, who is in Madison. Charlie, what can you tell us?
Well, police just gave us new information that 2 of those victims who were transported from the school today, they have since been released from the hospital. But as you mentioned, we do now know that a 17-year-old female shooter has been identified as the suspect in this shooting. Police telling us that they did not fire any shots. But where we are now, we're at one of the reunification centers. It's a medical building about a half-mile away from the school where the shooting happened. Police telling us within about the last hour that all students have since been reunified with their loved ones. As you can imagine, it has been just a terrifying day. A very emotional day as parents have been rushing here to try and get in touch with their kids today.
And we know there's going to be another update in about an hour and 15 minutes. What more information are you hoping to learn from them?
Well, again, motive. Whenever we are at these shootings, especially in the early stages, everyone wants to know why, especially investigators. We do know that the FBI is working hand in hand with local police here in Madison back at the school. They've been interviewing witnesses. They've also obtained a number of search warrants. We are told that they have made contact with the shooter's family, and at last check that the shooter's family has been cooperative throughout this investigation. But getting to the why of all of this is certainly going to be a big part of it. And again, you've got local law enforcement working hand in hand with federal authorities to try and get to the root of some of those questions.
Okay, I'm going to go here because I saw this, and who knows? We're just going to deal in wild speculation. I think that's the way we really need to go about doing this. So I'm going to, let's see, I think I have a way of viewing this maybe a little bit better. Might have to go for this angle. Okay. And then I want to take a look at your chats here because I think there's some important stuff we may have missed. Okay, so let's actually go to the full chat here. Okay, you guys, that's not going to show it all. So let's go back here a ways for where, if it's a dude, you are correct. She's at a hotel bar at the end of the night. Okay, she's lazy with her enunciation, so probably Greek. I think that's maybe the way to, we'll go here, maybe the way to say it. Tyler, it's not legal for a 17-year-old to have a gun. Obviously, this can't be true. I don't remember exactly what I said. I know it's not illegal for a 17-year-old to have a gun. It depends which state you're in. As an example, California, I do not believe a minor can have a handgun. They can get a rifle. They cannot get a handgun. Okay. So, example, my oldest, he's what, 2000, he's 24. He just bought himself a Glock. And, he's in Washington, but they have similar rules there. I was more mocking the fact that, how did she get this gun? It's not, I mean, maybe she's a shooter, maybe she's got this, but a handgun, a 9mm is not likely in most states. And I imagine Wisconsin is the same. We can even, maybe even Google it here. Legal age, Wisconsin owning handgun. Okay, unless it's like, something handed down. According to Wisconsin law, individuals, there we go. So let's take a look here. Okay, this is just, hey, come on, why is it not, what's it not doing it here? Sometimes this has trouble. Display capture, let's try that. There we go. Okay, so as you can see here, whoa. Okay, this is just AI answering here. According to Wisconsin law, individuals must be 21 to purchase a handgun. There's no licensing requirement to purchase a firearm in Wisconsin, but buyers will be subject to a background check if purchasing from a licensed dealer and will need to provide proper identification. Additionally, Wisconsin law allows individuals 18 or older to open carry a handgun anywhere that concealed carry is legal, as long as they have not been prohibited from firearm possession. It's essential to note that Wisconsin has a gun show loophole, go fuck yourself, which allows for sales from private dealers, which without a required background check. However, this loophole does not affect the minimum age requirement for purchasing a handgun, which remains 21 years old. Now, all I'm saying is this. Does that mean that she could not have acquired a gun illegally? No. I mean, you never know what it is. It's a gun-free zone. How'd the gun get there? Great point. My 12-year-old has a gun, allegedly. Yeah. And by the way, I'm a firm believer. And by the way, I feel horrible. It said 2 people killed. I'm imagining they include that, and they should not include that with the perpetrator. Don't include her, him, it, cis, whatever, as part of the victims. That person killed herself. Thank you. But how many people, 2 other injured, at least one other dead then, I imagine, that sucks. That really sucks. And I don't want to downplay that, but we're also having fun here. My 12-year-old has a gun, allegedly. So here's my deal with guns and kids, which is my young kids, the girls weren't all that interested, but they would shoot with us. And the boys were always interested. So they would be shooting and then having guns. And then the younger one, even when he was the youngest, when he was buying, you can buy legit, like gun manufacturers also make pellet and BB guns. And some great ones. So, we had some really nice high-powered BB guns, pellet guns, handguns that were that as well, CO2 kind of stuff, beginning as kids, and perfectly fine. He got in trouble with the neighbors, and but I taught them, that was teaching them safety, and it was teaching them about guns, and then we'd actually shoot, real guns as well. And the point I'm getting at is, I find that when if you have to know your child. If you have one of those children that is just always a problem, maybe getting into stuff, stealing your liquor, that might not be the kid that you're going to, be as open with, and each one is different, but you have a responsibility with these children. And the young ones, shooting guns, understanding, everything's downrange. You don't, just throw your gun around like this at people. Everything, safety is important. And those kids, if something were to come up and they ran into just a random gun somewhere, they would know how to handle it. They would not be one of these kids that would, misfire a weapon. My kids would know how to unload it. They would know how to disarm it or to conceal it and do what they needed to do. So having your 12-year-old have a gun, I think that's perfectly fine. I imagine screwed up Texas Even though you claimed you're Jewish, you're probably doing a good thing for your kids there as well. Parent was likely lazy with security of the firearm. Yeah, it goes exactly to what we were just talking about. Lunch, yeah, we talked about that. Got to free the mind. Say here again, MFer. I don't know if you're talking to me or that lady, probably them. The school part is the learning part. Okay. Yes. Q. They were the FBI's radar meme. Yeah. So were they? I have mini ghost guns. Okay. Shout out to Georgia. F the government won't. I think that was on the dude. Her middle name is Dominica. So Spain, maybe? Yeah, good point. But the Spain can be a little hairy too. Some of those women. Buy a gun. My bad. LOL. My 6-year-old shoot guns. Also, my 4-year-old not yet. Yeah, well, keep them. You got young kids here. Congrats on that. Okay, let's go. So we read this. So now I wanted to go here. Let's go to this. This is what I wanted to look at. This is Josh Smith, our buddy here. He put this on here, and then there was a little bit of back and forth on that. So, hang on. Where did my Brave browser go? Wow, just disappeared on me. Okay, there we go. The Abundant Life Church school shooter in Madison, Wisconsin has been identified as a 15-year-old girl named Natalie Lynn Rupnow. She may not be trans, but she was certainly a trans-inclusive radical feminist. There is a clear mental health discrepancy in a movement that believes men in women's clothing must be involved in women's private spaces. Lashing out, killing Christians is on the rise by these brainwashed young people, and it's only going to get worse with a media and establishment that forces women to accept men into their own private spaces or risk having their lives ruined and deemed as bigots. We need people in all American institutions that are brave enough to stand up and say that the coddling of clear delusion is over. So there's a picture of him, her, it. I mean, not a bad looking female, but obviously a bit disturbed. Someone comes in here and says she's literally a neo-Nazi, actually fucking hilarious. You lied about her manifesto is already public. So Josh posts this part of the manifesto, and that's kind of why I wanted to get here. Let me see if I can fix this view, and then we will actually read some of this portions of this manifesto. I'm assuming it is. If we need to, I'm sorry. Hey, just hang on with me. Okay, we'll get here. Okay, there we go. So I don't know all the details of this, what this is true or not, but let's take a look. Damn it. I don't know where my Brave goes. Okay. Women are the only hope for this wretched world. Okay. I'm a firm believer in both men and women and the roles that they both have. So I'm not buying this shit already. I'm already having a problem with it, but let's keep going. But even women have been brainwashed by moids for too long. They've internalized the patriarchy. And see, when you're starting using patriarchy and turned on each other, always begging for more, I'm see, there's 2 4s there. Male approval and validation. It's disgusting. I realize the truth. Men are irredeemable. Okay. Radfem Hitler was a fucking vindicated now. Radfem Hitler is fucking vindicated now. My 17-year-old when they were wrote better than this. That's all I'm saying. They can't be reformed or redeemed. They're a fucking scourge upon the earth. The only solution is to total exterminate them and every foid who worships these fucking parasites. Every single male must be wiped out, from babies to the elderly. I mean, is this I'd be interested. I mean, this is actually what Josh is saying here. This is feminism, right? Let's kill the babies in the womb, whatnot. This person says, yeah, every should be from the babies to the elderly. It doesn't say the womb, so I'll give grant to that. Only then can women be free to create a new world. I'll be a pioneer. I'll be the first to take the first step. I don't care if they're fathers, brothers, husbands, sons, teachers, police, and especially niggers or politicians. Okay, let's where's the, no, not the sad trombone. I want some, where's the air horn? Okay. Was that unnecessary? I've been craving to kill them all. This is my mission. Only when their parasitic sludge has been expunged from this earth is when then the world will be clean and women can start over. How? How are you starting over without men? Anybody thought of that one? No offense here, bitch, but you don't have men around. You don't start over. You don't get to, you just start. You don't even start. You just get a finish. If men are all gone, you don't have anybody to procreate with, you just finish, and then you are done. There you go. This is my mission. Only when their parasitic sludge has been expunged from the earth is when, and then the world will be clean and women can start over. It's the only way. It's approximately 10 men to see should be dead. I don't know what the fuck they're saying there. It's strange, but it feels good. Okay, so this person is a fucking psycho. I need more of this manifesto. That's what I'm getting at here. By the way, it reminds me of the Luigi thing, right? There's a lot of talk there. Hey, read Ted Kaczynski's manifesto. And by the way, I just back up here. If you saw the last episode and it said, hey, we're going to talk about Daniel Penny, I said Perry, and only because I watched Dave Smith and he's talking about Daniel Penny, but he kept calling him Perry. And then he was talking about someone else. He was getting the names all mixed up. Love you, Dave, but you know, the names are wrong. And I do that too. But I said the episode was going to be on Daniel Penny, and I forgot to talk about him at all. Now, Luigi goes out there and evidently did a Goodreads breakdown of Kaczynski's manifesto. So people all, oh, look at that. Now, I think Ted Kaczynski is an interesting man, right? No, he's not a boy. Interesting fellow. Obviously, I don't agree with his methods, pipe bombs, nail bombs, you know, one here in Sacramento. You know, it was all to the intellectual, and we all know his well, we don't all know, but you know, I wouldn't have a problem with you reading that. I mean, there's some good information in there. He bashes the left, he bashes the right. And there's some good info. Dude was very, very smart. They still use one of his textbooks in higher math. Okay. So he's not your dumbass. But it was also, if you watch any of the documentaries or you actually look into this, you know, there's the MK Ultra thing, which I think may have twisted his mind a bit. He also tried to transition to a female. So if you are one of those out there, and I know Pete Quinones read it, the whole thing, and you know, I don't say he lionizes them, but you know, you say Uncle Ted and that's all this. Okay, and maybe it's Aunt Ted. He did try to transition. Now at the time, okay, when he was doing it, what they made you do was go get pre-qualified with a head doctor, right? A psychiatrist, psychologist. You had to get it analyzed to see if this was something that you can actually go through. Then you get more, and they turned him down. They said no. Even this guy is too fucked up to transition. We'll let normal weirdos, mentally health ill people transition, but not Ted Kaczynski. So just keep that in mind, right? He's got good fundamental ideas, but he also was too mentally ill, according to the psychiatrist, to even transition, okay? So maybe that's where Luigi is. I don't know. People can come at me for all you want there. I don't know. Do we have more about her manifesto? So what was this chick's name? Natalie Lynn Rupnow. See if I could find manifesto. I don't know if I want to do it right here while we're online. Manifesto. Isn't it funny? This female that hates men has to put out a document with the main portion, the root word as man for her manifesto. Okay. How about we look at some chat here? Let's go to some more chat. I got a 4-year-old and a 2. As soon as they seem ready, I will teach them safety at the very least. 4-year-old is a little clumsy, so maybe need to wait till 6. Yeah, maybe. 4-year-old is kind of slow. 6-year-old was shooting at 5. Okay, good for you guys. I probably learned more at lunch than any other time at school. Yeah, I'm just saying, artificial cow wombs, Tyler. Okay, Uncle Ted was correct in his diagnosis. Yeah, fine. I didn't say he wasn't correct in this. All I'm saying is, it reminds me of this. Screwed up Texas. You know, when people put, you can pick all kinds of people that you want to follow, right? Groypers seem to go after Nick Fuentes. Maybe pick someone else. Maybe pick someone who's not such a homosexual. Okay. Black Lives Matter. They first went on to Colin Kaepernick about the abuse of the police. This is a guy that was worried about the abuse of the state being used against them through the police forces while wearing a Fidel Castro shirt. Who was more abusive to its people? I mean, there's a lot of people. You could say more. There's people more, but he was pretty abusive from the state perspective to people. Fascinating little tidbit. So I just finished this book called The Real McCoy. It's called D.B. Cooper, The Real McCoy. Okay, it's about this guy, and I've talked about him a little bit, but I'm doing a deep dive on him. D.B. Cooper. It's this hijacking in November of 1971. 6 months later, this other guy, Richard Floyd McCoy, does a similar thing, hijacks it, very similar. People think it's him because this guy ended up getting caught because his sister-in-law was sleeping with a police officer who called her at the time and thought maybe it was it. Anyway, he gets caught. And where was I going with this? Correct on the diagnosis. There you go. I don't remember where I was going. Oh, I do. Cuba. During the 70s, late 60s and 70s and mid 60s, people were hijacking planes at an alarming rate, okay? And the majority of them were not these, Saudis that would do it over there and then kill people. They would hijack a plane and they would say, we're going to Cuba, and because there was an embargo at the time, like there is now, and they would go to Cuba. They would fly down to Cuba and to party or vacation or whatever. And at this point, the airlines are just, they do the calculation there and they say, we're going to get our plane. We don't want it shot up, and they would get the plane back, just a detour. Now, one famous thing that the book talks about is this one guy that was really, he was protesting the Vietnam War. He was he was a hardcore lefty. He was doing all these protests. He was on everyone's radars. He goes and he hijacks one of the planes and he says, take me to Cuba, because he wants to live in Fidel Castro's communist paradise. He goes down there, gets off the plane. They let the plane come back. How was he greeted? Not well. Matter of fact, he gets put in prison. He's in prison there for 3 years. He tries to escape. Castro's like, fuck you. I'm not taking this. And puts him in prison. At one point, the U.S. actually does a prisoner exchange for him. This guy was a major commie associate. That's why he wanted to go there. His life didn't end up well. Point is, pick your person who you're going to have as kind of your leader, and make it a better person than what you have. Maybe Ted Kaczynski's message is what you like, but then maybe find someone who can actually, present it in a little bit better fashion, right? He doesn't look like a piece of shit. And maybe he's the only kind. And if that's the only kind of person that can really portray the kind of values that you want, maybe you need to rethink some of those values. Okay, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying here. Let's go here to Twitter. And I'm going to keep reading some of this. Going over here. So this is Nick Sorter. I don't know who this is. I just typed in manifesto and this chick's name, and we're gonna see here. Let's see if I can. I wanna make it so we have a little better view. Okay. All right. I think that'll work here. Okay. Just in, shooter's 15-year-old Natalie Lynn Rapnow, according to multiple reports. Part of the manifesto was posted by Rapnow prior to the shooting, and it expresses radical feminist ideologies. And by the way, this is the problem you have, it's happened with Luigi, which is everyone then jumps into, okay, how do we, the Charlie Kirks, the Ben Shapiro's, those types, they've got to make it where this is a lefty, all ideological lefty, therefore we could just blame them and be on our way. Where then the left is all saying, oh, this is a righty, he's a Nazi, it's whatever. And so maybe it's a very confused individual, Ted Kaczynski, as an example. Maybe it's just a very confused individual that has some things that they're really upset about. Every single male must be wiped out. Now this bitch is a little bit fuck nuts. Okay, so I don't necessarily think that's wrong. Every single male must be wiped out, from babies to the elderly. Only then will women be free. Leftism is dead. There's a picture of this freak show. Feel bad for the parents. wow, given the white power sign, I guess. Is that what? Sneak peek of it. Okay. What else do we got here? Who else give us... okay. What's this? Some sort of video? Okay, hang on. It's going through here. Hey, man, don't have a lot of time, so I'll get right down to it. I'm going to be dead in the next hour or two, max. Shit. Okay, Nazi. Stormtrooper Nazi outfit. Okay. Okay. I don't know what's going on there. What else we got? I think that's just the only part that they've released of the manifesto. It is. Okay, here's a war against... is this the one? Let's see. Samantha Repnow manifesto was titled War Against Humanity. Hatred, something everyone has gotten. In a sense, some people think it's pure nothing, but because of the... And I don't know if this is actually her report or not, or her manifesto, her, him, it. This is just what, it's showing online. So, we're just grabbing it, seeing what we have here. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Here, let me open this up so you can see the whole thing, though. Yeah, we don't know. So, bear with me. I'm just running with it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm doing. Sorry, I want to close this. Okay. It's pure nothing, but because of the hate they make, it ends up killing them without knowing it, which go right ahead. I don't mind, but kinda do at the same time. This is a lot of rambling. You are just simply nothing but scum of this earth, of this world, or even to think about it, nobody should want you or your body in any way. I hate seeing people on a daily basis. Just being so sensitive gives me more reason to take off my glasses. The human scum is color and the way people are raised. I've grown around people who do not care or give one single care in the world and smoke their lungs out with weed or drink as much as they like, as they can, like my own father. So the problem, it looks like, is her father drank or smoked. Okay, I don't know if he did weed or not. I've grown to hate people and society. It's truly not my fault, though. It never was. But all of you and the world has done me is pick and tease me. You've pushed me into a corner with no help whatsoever. Okay, these are problematic, words here. That shit has happened to you, and now you're gonna die. I don't know. It's you haven't helped me. Humanity is filth, and I don't like filth, nor do I want to live, nor should anyone else. And I know it follows me, and how it has followed me, and will follow everyone because of how the world is runned. Okay. There were so many things I wanted to do as a kid. Yeah, I can admit I was afraid of the other kids and also even my own parents, but I don't even trust them. And at this age as well, I didn't and never will. My parents are scum. There is nothing that will save them to make me think good of them ever. No family to ever trust and never, and to never trust society. There is two people and only two people I will trust. One partially and one I would never doubt. Okay, I can agree that this is such a teenager, by the way. I can agree that I don't know what I'm doing with my life, but neither did my parents or anyone around me. I have changed. I will not go back to that ever again. I'm hardened and I'm different. This situation and the situation of a lifetime is get the fuck out moment and don't come back. I will never go back and nag my way through life. It's not even my fault, though. It's everyone else's. Okay, so, and it has to be theirs and not mine. Okay, I do need to change this part. Sorry, it's just not going to show here unless we move it. There we go. Yeah, this person is, let's blame everyone. Where do we get? It has to be and not mine. Okay, so that right up at this part. It's pure idiotic. It's pure idiotic from people to cause this, but it's a good thing that this happens. It always is, and there will always be a reason for this and reasons for other shootings, unless it's some Indian guy who wanted to blow up just for the fun of it. And what it which is what these people do. I find that a bit funny, not really funny to the point I'd laugh my ass off, but still, maybe get to the point here. Maybe they don't and think I might be crazy. Maybe you'll see me as a weirdo, a freak, just as some of you do now, but I'm not. I am not like the others. I would never, ever want to be like them. You are just like them, sorry. With how they think and what they do on a simple day, I hate how population thinks, grows, and talks, and how they make romance fake. If only some days we could do a public execution, that would be gladly needed. I wouldn't mind throwing those stones at idiots or even watching them from far back when they get hanged. Twitter can prove that for a fact or so, I think, and I think a lot more than some people think or do, or maybe they don't think what I think, because most people can't do what I'm going to do. Death is something most people need to embrace and accept rather than running from it. Okay, this is it's got psycho stuff going on here. Okay. Once you know you'll be proven guilty on all charges and wish to be killed in any good way is not simple and more painful than anything else. Anything, or at least I would hope on that behalf. Revolution and population. The revolution should be well. The population should be well. But it's not and never will be. I want to change that. But will I truly? The population of scum has been worked over and over the years, as it did during the wars and fighting over what should be right and wrong. The sick people will dissolve into dust and should be forgotten about. You will ruin the human population and turn into hordes of filth and beings that shouldn't live. Whores and scum are things I hate the most and will always hate. You have no meaning. You and your parents should be hanged in front of everyone. Niggers, though, worse. Once you sleep with one, you are one. Okay. I mean, as we talked about Kaczynski, not everything he says it. I'm kidding, ish. I don't care who you think you are or what you've done good for this world of yours. It will never matter, because you will always have no thought and no brain to continue with. I hate looking at some of the people in society and seeing what they are and what they do with their lives. Like, how does one do that? But I know now, out of scum and just pure retardedness. I'm glad to be different and not the same as other people. I know how to be formal. I know how to use my words. Even if I get mad at you, there has always been a reason, whether or not I despise you or just 'cause I can. Some of you guys really do deserve the execution punishment, rather painful or not. You deserve to be dead, but yet, I'm going to totally get demonetized for this. But yet, doesn't the world deserve that? The main target, and by the way, so if we're getting demonetized and we're getting maybe this gets taken down, make sure you go and subscribe to the Rumble page, also over on X. Those are where you're going to, still get us here. Some of the guys really do deserve execution and punishment. Or may not deserve to be dead, but yet doesn't the whole world deserve that? The main target has been anyone with some sort of feeling or being of knowing any action to turn you wrong and left rather than right and the better. Either way, I will always hate humanity. I will never be overruled. If someday it's so overruled and I shall never see that day, and knowing how this world is and how everyone is scum and filth, scum of filth. Nobody will ever overrule it, and all everyone will be is some worthless thing. Out of all serious talk, though, okay, how everyone forces other religion on others, or how some people just disobey the right from wrong and using the wrong for the worse. What I'm simply doing is not wrong one single bit, okay? Maybe, sure, to some people due to its harmful studies, according to some people. I get, and the hate you get is mutual. You hate me, and I will always hate you as well, no matter what you've done to me, but you will always have a little place of hate. I don't care what you think, nor though. Well, you're certain. Well, then why are you writing this? though, nor would I really ever. I'd rather be dead than sit in a room all day, no matter if it's schoolwork or even my own room, even if like being alone. I will never be like anyone else and ruin my mind. I am part of the real thought and the real revolution. Oh boy. So we have a real crackpot here. Oops, hey, sorry. Real crackpot here. And, you know, just from, I know sometimes I have trouble reading. And yeah. I think it's safe to say the stream is demonetized. Uncle Ted was correct upon his diagnosis, though. Yeah, okay. We've talked about that. Yeah, the stream, oh wait, let's go back here. The stream is demonetized. That's not a problem. I just wanted to get out here and say some things. So that's, is there some more here? This person really hates terror of shooters and the right and the wrong. So this person really had some, by the way, that's incomprehensible to even understand what she's really trying to say or do there. It's kind of a hard follow, but I think we're all on the point of, we started this off talking about life is fragile. Jeff, our buddy, Legal Vices, passed away, heart attack, it sounds like. Sucks. But, you know, you never know when that end is going to come. And this person here, she would like to end it for you as quick as possible, once, especially if you're a male, which, you know, most of the viewers here are. But even so, I wouldn't want, if this was a male saying this about women, I wouldn't be in agreement of that either. You know, my best friend is my wife. I have 2 daughters. I have a mom that I adore. Stepmom. I'm not stepmom. I don't have stepmoms. I mean, mother-in-law. You know, there's people I like, and there's females I like. So, you know, I'm not, it's just, people are crazy. It's really too bad. I think that's what we're going to end it on. Let's see if there's anything here on the news, and then I'm going to be out. I think we got it. We got an hour already in, so. This is Drudge Report. American Constitutional Convention. Dems fear it's coming. Okay. Trudeau on brink of resigning. Liberal government crumbles. Wow. Okay. We're gonna have to look at this. This is an update from the last time we were here. So, freed faker, viral Syrian prisoner found by CNN crew cowering in cell was fleeing Assad officer pretending to be regime opponent. Of course he was. We knew that at the time. The viral prisoner discovered by CNN news crew cowering in the cell was one of Assad's evil torturers. A Syrian fact-checker site has claimed the so-called imprisoned civilian was found trembling under a blanket once being freed by... Now, are they going to say that this guy was just perpetuating a hoax on CNN? Because I think the reality is everyone saw that and said, this is fake. This isn't at all what it is here. The man named himself to CNN's Clarissa Ward as Abdel Garbal, a father from Homs. Garbal is captured on video being broken out of a cell that he said he had been held in for 3 months. He's shaking, on the verge of tears in the footage, holding Clarissa's hand. Well, he says that Assad intelligence service took him from his home and guards beat him in the prison. The man was taken to the Sunlight team, which he said he hadn't seen for months, but fact-checking site Verify Psy picked up that the alleged prisoner bizarrely didn't flinch or blink when he looked at this guy. Well, come on. We saw a bunch of problems here, which seems unusual for someone who had been held captive for so long. The site, a part of Pointier's international fact-checking network, said despite the purported harsh treatment, sorry, anybody wanted me to click over here and said Kim Kardashian rocks tiniest fur bikini for new Skims winter heat line. We'll check that out when we're done here. They added that it was incongruous portrayal of someone allegedly kept in solitary confinement in the dark for 90 days. The CNN team had provided food and water for the man after getting him out of the cell. He claimed he was left without any supplies for 4 days while his captors fled. While Verify Psy couldn't immediately confirm Gabur's identity after speaking with locals in Homs, they were able to confirm the man was Salama Mohammed Salama, or Abu Hamza. They said he was a first lieutenant of the Syrian Air Force International Intelligence, which served overthrown tyrant Bashar al-Assad under his regime. All right. Okay, let's go over here. Let's click here. Let's see what Kim Kardashian is doing with her fur bikini. Kim Kardashian shows full underboob in tiniest fur bikini to promote new Skims winter heat line. Okay, that's There you go. If you haven't done all your Christmas shopping, time to do it. Go get yourself a fur bikini. I think it's okay. You guys are pretty much done, I think, talking about this here. Let's go out and then keep tuned in for the week. We will have a show Friday, of course. Tower Gang on Wednesday. Pre-show, regular show, post-show. I'll be part of pre and post and all of it. Other than that, tune in. You know, my friend Jose Galasan, No Way Jose, he's been doing his morning shows. I've been enjoying that. I've been thinking about trying to get someone on to talk about drones, aliens. So I think we're going to, maybe we'll find something there. Until next week, or till the next show, make sure you like, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the little notification bell so you are aware when shows like this happen. You'll be able to get in line. All right, we're gonna do a quick out. It's a Nick Rekieta special. Scarface, be well.